But to kind of go into confidence and how it's something that you absolutely desperately need in creation to such a major extent. A lot of people, when I have a friend who recently started up YouTube, and I knew them from outside of YouTube, and they knew I made videos, because it's not something I can keep a secret. I have to, constantly be telling people or whatnot. Just for my own confidence sake, they just like even just BSing your confidence is still confidence, right? If you even just pretend to be confident, then you're naturally going to be confident. I think that still don't know if anyone's actually genuinely confident or not, or if everyone's just BSing, or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But
no, I think that's fair. I think that and that kind of touches on like imposter syndrome too, is like everybody kind of always feels like they don't deserve to be where they're at.
Right.
But projecting that, like you said, I think like not being ashamed of the stuff that you create.
Definitely.
Even if it's trash and garbage, like that's still like, it's way better than, than other people who aren't creating stuff,
Absolutely.
and just talking about that and, bringing it back to the feedback, seeing where people can, help you improve or asking people all that. Like, just don't be afraid. Just put out stuff.
Yeah, well, and I've got like a decent exercise for people out there who are specifically looking for YouTube to make YouTube videos. And one thing I would highly recommend is find something, just pretty much anything, that you're actually very, very passionate about and that you're able to talk about for a long period of time. I would try just ranting into a microphone about that one thing for a long period of time, even if you don't end up uploading it, even if you don't share it at all. Just getting used to arguing your point into a microphone without another person, because that's an adjustment. It's an adjustment to try to talk to someone who's not actually there,
Oh, yeah.
Right now I'm talking to you, and I know you're there, but you're not actually here. We're quarantined.
My first ever, I don't know about first ever, but one of my really early things I tried to do, it was like one day. But it was like I used to play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and I at the time was pretty new to it, and I didn't see any YouTube channels about it for some reason. Like, of course, there's a billion YouTube channels about it, but I hadn't stumbled on any of them. And so I was like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel about Magic because there's a gap that needs to be filled. And I never uploaded anything, never registered, didn't go anywhere with it.
Of course.
There are a couple of videos of me just sitting in my room, talking about Magic cards to someone who has no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But but that stuff is important, and you learn a lot from that. Maybe this isn't the kind of thing that I want to create, or this was nice, but let me shift over this thing, or I need more structure, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And structure, you may find that just freeform talking, talking off the cuff, just from what you feel in your mind, that might not be entirely suited for you. You might be better actually writing up a script of something you want to say. Yeah. And that's another great thing to practice. Just try writing down your thoughts and then try voicing them over. And then if it sounds weird or whatnot, then you're like, oh, well, maybe I should try adjusting it. But even just, they help each other is the thing.
Yeah.
Whether you practice either one, you will improve at both of them.
Yeah, and the other thing is it's always going to feel weird. It's
for sure.
Writing your own stuff, and you're your worst critic. It's you'll look at yourself and be like, oh, that really isn't good, and then other people will love it. So it's always going to feel weird. It's always going to feel awkward. You are writing words for yourself, and that's always a weird experience. But just do it. Nobody cares.
I know. That's the thing. And if you don't care, then nobody cares, right? So if you just have to do the not caring first, you just have to care about what you're saying and what you're trying to get through. And a big thing that helps, I think, when speaking confidently and being confident in what you create, is creating something that you are very much true to, creating something that you very much believe and
that you're passionate about, that you care about.
Absolutely. Whenever I talked about games or movies or whatnot, I wasn't just saying opinions that I didn't actually believe. I wasn't just saying opinions that sound cool. I was saying things that I genuinely believe, and because that, I'm able to talk about it confidently. And then if you say anything confidently, it's going to sound a lot more almost I want to say credible, but kind of, I guess that's true. If you're more confident than someone who's not confident, you're going to sound a little bit more credible. And even if you're not trying to convince anyone of your topic, even if you're just literally trying to voice it out there, if you confidently voice it out there, then people are naturally going to start looking at this more as a piece of art, which is what you're trying to share, essentially, and less of just another voice. And because you don't want to be seen as just another voice. You want to be seen as you, sharing your thoughts and your opinions on things. So, and confidence is it's just so important. You know, if you find that like working with a camera is just impossible, my first couple camera shoots were terrible. I had the hardest time trying to like talk specifically to a camera, maintaining eye contact, pick up the script, put down the script, maintain eye contact, you know, like try not to make the same facial expression too many times. And then when you get into editing, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to cut so much out. The first ones were terrible. And they're still on my channel. They're on my resume, if you will. And people can go and watch them if they want. It's just important to, again, like get the crap out so that eventually you start putting out stuff that's not crap. And just practice makes perfect. If you don't want to start with the camera, maybe just start with the microphone. Just try saying a couple things. Even just starting with writing sometimes helps too, you know? If you just want to do a twit longer or something, right? Like all that stuff, it just builds on top of each other, and you can't start at level 10. You got to start somewhere below. And again, that's why it's important just to understand your limitations, to set those limitations, and then be the best that you can be within those limitations. Guaranteed, every time that's going to be a better project than whatever 1/3 of a project you didn't end up finishing because you thought it was going to be perfect. Hey there. You just watched a clip from my creative podcast. If you'd like to check out the full episode, you can support me over on Patreon. And if not, you can subscribe to check out more clips coming here soon.